here. Today I would like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about yoga props. First of all, your foundation of your practice is your yoga mat. I have a couple of examples here. This is a $15, $20 yoga mat. They call it a sticky mat. It's sticky so you don't slip. You'll get various differences depending on what price you're willing to pay. This is great if you're just starting out. I have a jade yoga mat, no particular attachment to the brand. It's just a mat that I like. It's a rubber mat. It's a little more dense than the $15 version, so it gives you a little bit more support if you have tender knees or tender wrists. Still a great quality mat. Whatever you choose a mat based on what your needs are right now and how often you're going to practice yoga. The next item I'd like to show you is yoga blocks. If you buy nothing else besides your mat, I highly recommend you invest in at least one yoga block. They're not very expensive, maybe $10, $15 if you look around for different prices. Yoga blocks can be used in various ways in your practice to make yoga postures more accessible and safer for you. For example, one posture that I really like to use as an example is triangle pose, because I have so often seen people just falling down in their triangle pose because they want to touch their foot or their ankle. When you see pictures of triangle pose, you see these wonderful, flexible people reaching all the way down here, so everyone thinks this is where you have to go. Well, you don't have to go there. You can take a block or even 2 blocks to make this posture safe, comfortable, and accessible to you. And so many other postures used for support in various ways. All right, there isn't a great substitute for yoga blocks. So again, I highly recommend having at least one yoga block. Next would be a yoga strap. Again, this is used in various ways in your yoga practice to make things accessible. Maybe you can't touch your toes and you're going to do something like that, but maybe you can't reach your toes, hand to big toe, or laying down. I use this often for a wonderful hamstring stretch. If you're attending my classes, you'll find this. So this is great, handy to have. If you do not have a yoga strap or do not want to invest in one, you can use something like a rope tie, very simple, or a belt, a long belt. Anything like that is a great substitute for a yoga strap. Next, we have a yoga blanket. Again, used for many various reasons, often to make postures accessible, to be used instead of a bolster, which we'll get to next. I like to use the blanket for sitting on often, sometimes for laying on to cover up at the end. It's also wonderful for supporting the knees when you're sitting cross-legged. A lot of people don't have that flexibility in the hips, so you may end up struggling to sit here. So you want to support any limbs that are sort of hanging out in the air. You don't want them hanging out in the air. You want to give them the support to keep those joints safe. Next is a yoga bolster. I love using my bolster to sit on in combination with a yoga blanket around the knees. as such. I find it gives me great support. I can create a nice long spine in this seated position. This is very comfortable for me. I can stay here for quite some time. Also used for various supported postures and relaxation postures. One of my favorites is to take the bolster, tuck it in to the back. You get a nice gentle back bend, and just rest and relax here. Substitutions for yoga bolsters and blankets could be a towel, probably a few towels depending on what we're doing in yoga class, as well as a nice firm throw cushion or pillow from your bed. So you have lots of options. You don't have to go out buying all these expensive products, but not much for a yoga block. So hopefully, oh, I almost forgot, we also have a chair. This is so handy in making yoga postures accessible. Again, you can use this for your triangle pose in various ways. Options for a downward facing dog. Not everyone wants to do down dog on the floor or has that flexibility or ability to do it there. It helps you with balancing postures. So many ways to make your yoga practice fun, safe, and accessible. Also, if you can practice near a wall, this is fantastic for learning some alignment, as well as, again, with balancing. Perhaps you want to try a half moon pose. This is a real tough one to balance in and to find that alignment in, so the wall and a chair are a great option. So that's about it. Hopefully this gives you some insight into how to use some yoga props and why you may want to start investing in them. So thank you very much for joining me today. See you soon.